Welcome to Building Bridges, Conversations on Social Development, where we explore the power of connection, collaboration, and community in shaping a more inclusive and prosperous world. Join us as we delve into the key issues, innovative solutions, and inspiring stories that drive positive change and empower individuals and communities to thrive. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, uniting hearts and minds for a brighter future for all. Let's get to work with Garfield Oliver of Caribbean American News Media.
Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream with Garfield Oliver. Let's get to work.
5 years, every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years from now. Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our Saint Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working.
Caribbean American Media, welcome to our live stream.
Yes, my friends, greetings to all our brothers and our sisters on the platform. Good night to all, good evening rather, to all our brothers and our sisters here on Caribbean American News Media. We are live on the air. It is 8:15 p.m. We do apologize for the late start. We had some technical issues that we had to contend with, but we are here live on Caribbean American News platform. And so I want to greet everyone. I want to take this opportunity to wish you again a beautiful evening, and we're going to sit in together. Please just brace yourself. We're going to have a beautiful show tonight. I look forward to there's a lot happening, folks, out there. And Caribbean American News, we are here to bring you the news that you report, and I will give you my analysis, according to my friend Norbert, of the paralysis. And so it is important that you share the platform as far and wide as you can. Share it with everybody. Share it in all the groups. Don't be ashamed of Caribbean American News platform. We are a trustworthy platform. We are a kids-friendly platform. We have been tested and proven, and I would not say that we're simply the best, but I would say to you that we're doing our best, my friends, to keep you together and to keep you informed, Like I said to you, friends, if I say anything on this platform and I cannot verify it, I pull it back quickly. But until that time, we have not pulled back anything. As far as I'm concerned, we have not had any need to apologize, and so we want to keep it that way. But beautiful evening, top of the evening to all our viewers and our guests, and to our SLP friends who are logging in. We want to welcome you also to the platform. You are St. Lucian, and you're entitled to be on this democratic platform. Yes, this democratic platform. But I must inform you that the views, the ideas that you will hear on this platform, it is solely the ideas of Caribbean American News Media. We caucus with the United Workers' Party, and that has not changed, my friends. And so I don't want anyone to say to me that I'm biased and I'm supporting corruption and I'm supporting a white man and all this nonsense. I'm not in those things. They mean nothing to me. I am here, my friends, for the development of the people, the poor, the marginalized, the victimized, the widow, the rape victims. I am here for those who just the underdogs. They have no voice, no one to speak on their behalf. Nobody feels their pain. And so, friends, we are here together. Tonight we're going to have, I hope it's not going to be a long night, but I know that tonight we'll be firing on all cylinders. There's a lot of stuff, folks, that I can't keep up with. But I know that you're expecting Mr. Martinez from the Msr Media to come on, but there's some developments that I would want to share with you. Mr. Martinez, we had conversations back and forth throughout last week and I believe the weekend, as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Martinez, Mr. Msr Media Martinez will be on our program. What happened? He's trying to reassess. He's trying to pull himself back together. After that interview, a lot came out, and so it ruffled a lot of feathers and everything else. Mr. Martinez is not distracted. He's not confused about what he's doing. And so I want you to bear with us here at Caribbean American News. He will be on the show. I have been back and forth with him, whether it's by calls or whether it is a WhatsApp message, but we are in contact. I must confirm that. And what I will say to you, in my communications, it has absolutely nothing to do with Mr. Shastney, the United Workers' Party, or anyone in the United Workers' Party. This is Caribbean American News Media Platform. We're not controlled or ruled by anything or anyone. All right? So whatever you see us doing here, it is myself trying to get you information. All right? Mr. Martinez, MSR CEO, he is cooperating with me in communications. If there is something out there that I need clarification on, I do send him a text and ask him to, to have a look at it, to assist me. And there's something I saw today that I forwarded to him so that he can guide me on that. But it is what it is, friends. But tonight there's so much. There is so much, friends, happening. But on last week on DBS, a lot was said, folks. I don't think you understand the magnitude of what happened at that interview, but it caused a lot of movement in St. Kitts and also in Saint Lucia. In Florida at the federal court, there was a lot of movements also, and the wheel continues to turn. I just want to speak to one. By the way, welcome all. I haven't seen Sylvie. Yes, my friend Sylvie, she's over there, and everybody, boss lady, everybody's on the platform. Gregory, Laurencia, and I can't call all the names. Show and Dr. Fletcher, everybody is here, and so I'm happy to have you. But let me just say this, friends. There is a guy called Bernard Haynes. Bernard Haynes, I believe he's from Soufriere, living in Brooklyn. I normally call people out ever so often on the platform without really disrespecting them. But and I have no ill feelings towards Bernard Haynes. As a St. Lucian, he has a right to speak. However, when you are misleading people, then there's a problem that we will have to fix. Now, Mr. Haynes, Bernard Haynes, came under our live at Caribbean American News platform, and Bernard Haynes indicated, well, he challenged me, why am I not speaking about the MSR lawsuit, sorry. Why am I not speaking about it now? And the reason why he's challenging me he thinks that I'm not speaking. And so he said, oh yeah, they throw out the lawsuit. And why are you not speaking now? They throw it out. Under the platform. Under a reputable platform with truth and justice and righteousness. And I was a little thrown back So what I did, folks, is that I wanted to know what he was talking about. So in his mind, he's spreading, and I believe it's an SLP propaganda, that the lawsuit is no longer. So the guys are frustrated. There is nothing here anymore. Flabo have mud in their face because this is not a Flabo thing, Mr. Haynes. It is not a Flabo thing. This is serious matters. You're talking about $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion, friends. This is no change, little $5 change that you put in your piggy bank. And so he takes this like a joke, that it is all about the Flabo. It is all about the Flabo and Martinez and the MSR CEO. And it has nothing to do with the SLP government. It has nothing to do with Galaxy and all these other agencies. It has nothing to do with China. It has nothing at all. It's all about Chastney, MSR, and St. Kitts. Nothing at all. St. Lucians, I'm here to let you know that this is far from the truth. The truth is the MSR lawsuit, the RICO lawsuit, it is real. It is going through the processes. And I can confirm tonight that there was a development. I will confirm tonight. I'll confirm tonight. Folks, just bear with me. Everything I do here, I am being legally monitored, not only through legal advice, regular legal advisors, but I'm being advised also through LegalZoom and other legal agencies. And I took that break just to read something, all right? But listen, there was a development in Florida last week. That was after the interview with Mr. Martinez, Philippe Martinez of MSR, and Lisa Joseph, reporter of the DBS program. It was a special interview, Ed. Mr. Martinez called some names. Mr. Martinez also indicated to St. Lucians that Mr. Emmanuel, CEO of the CPI St. Lucia, had a personal one-on-one meeting with him and his lawyers in Washington. After that interview, friends, the process was already enrolled, where the individuals who are being sued, former political leaders in St. Kitts, filed in the Florida court a request to remove the permission that was granted by Judge Roy of the federal court there in Miami. They filed a request to have the judge to dismiss the subpoenas that was issued previously by the same judge. Now, Mr. Judge Roy, trying to be fair to all parties, grant them their wish in removing the permission that was given to Mr. Martinez and his team to go into the banks and gather information pertaining only, and it should be used only for the lawsuit. I hope you understand what I'm saying. The suit is still going. This case is in the federal courts, and it is moving along. It is not a game. But however, Judge Roy advised Martinez and his team that they can reapply for access. Now, in court cases like these, where you have foreign governments, foreign individuals, involved, the United States government, they're very particular, they're very careful in how they deal, in how they manage these lawsuits. And so Mr. Roy did what I believe most judges would have done, is to grant, you grant a little win there and a little win there, and, then at the end, somebody will come out on top. So this is nothing major in the sense, because Martinez and his team, MSR team, legal team, them fellas already know where the money gone. They already know that the monies are in China. Mr. Philippe and his lawyers, MSR lawyers, they're not searching to find where the money is. They know where it is. They had access. They saw the different transactions. So don't let anybody fool you and make you believe that nothing to see here, everything is just gibberish, and don't listen to anyone. And by the way, these information are available to everybody. You go to the federal site, you go to the courts, and you can get those information. I got them. Mr. Martinez did not give it to me. MSR didn't give me this information. I went looking for it, because what I don't want to happen is that I get caught up in this lawsuit deal. When I say caught up, I do not want to falsely attack anyone. I don't want to besmirch anyone's character. And therefore, what I do is that I stand on the pinnacle of truth. I stand where the information is. So sometimes you'd hear me say, it's alleged. And it is alleged. But I can guarantee you, friends, with the monies, the CIP monies, it is not in Saint Lucia. Do you understand what I'm saying? The monies are not in Saint Lucia. They are not. All transactions were seen by Mr. Martinez and his team. All transactions. I am going to read before we go on, because we have a lot of stuff tonight. I am going to read something from the Citizens by Investment St. Lucia, a press release from Mr. Emmanuel. Statement by the Chief Executive Officer of the Citizens by Investment Program, and this is dated June 10th, 2024. On the letterhead is there, so it seems to be a real document. All right? It seems to be a real document. And it speaks of, as some, and I quote really, as some may be aware, I have been named in a civil lawsuit filed in the United States of America by Msr Media International and Philippe Martinez against former and present government officials in St. Kitts and Nevis and CIP actors who operated in St. Kitts and Nevis, who are presently constructing a hotel in St. Lucia. And I believe they referred there to Galaxy. Okay? In an interview on the evening of Thursday, 6th June or 5th June, I can't see clearly, 2024, on the Dia broadcasting station DBS with Lisa Joseph, Mr. Martinez stated that in conversation with him, I inferred that the minister with responsibility for the CIP program, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, was involved in an alleged CIP scam. St. Lucians, most of you followed, listened to that interview on DBS program with Miss Lisa Joseph. And again, congratulations to Lisa. She was very professional. All right? So, Emmanuel in his letter is saying that Mr. Martinez is spreading false information that he, Mr. Emmanuel, when he went to meet with the lawyers and Mr. Martinez, did not inferred that the minister who is responsible, that's the Dr. Hilaire, was part or is involved in any alleged CIP scam. Now, folks, you got to read and understand. This letter is what is called damage control. This is Mr. Emmanuel doing what any other person would have done. Try to clean up and to ensure that nobody is feeling bad. None of his bosses or anyone there, they're feeling bad about that trip over to Washington. My question would be, Mr. Emmanuel and the government of St. Lucia, before I go down in the letter, in the bouillon of the letter, my question is to Mr. Emmanuel and to St. Lucians and the St. Lucia Labour Party government. Is Mr. Emmanuel's wife a lawyer? I await an answer. I'm going to ask that question again. Is Mr. Emmanuel's wife a lawyer, his lawyer, or the CIP lawyer? Now, why am I asking this question? You are named in a lawsuit. You are named in a lawsuit. You leave St. Lucia. Now, you are not working for a private entity. You are working for the government of St. Lucia, the CIP unit. Your boss is Mr. Dr. Hilaire, the Honorable Dr. Hilaire. My question again to you, Mr. Emmanuel. Is your wife a lawyer representing you? If the answer is yes, good. If the answer is no, that she is not your lawyer, she is not a lawyer, she is not government lawyer, why did you go to a legal meeting without legal representation, but you went to meet with other people's lawyer to discuss legal matters that could have implicated you and the government of St. Lucia and Dr. Hilaire and all those who are involved in CIP? Brethren, some of you just read things and you listen to stuff, but you don't comprehend a lot, you know. These are questions that we, the people of St. Lucia, need answers for. Is his wife a lawyer? And why did the government of St. Lucia allow him to go into a legal battle? That's what it is still. It's a process. Left St. Lucia on a plane and went at a lawyer's office to discuss a massive legal war. And now that Mr. Martinez comes up, because Mr. Martinez has his team of lawyers there, because he went to meet with the man's lawyer. So it is his words against Mr. Martinez's word, who had a legal lawyer with him in Washington. My question is also, did Mr. Emmanuel, CEO of CIP, asked his wife to accompany him as a witness. But something is wrong with how our government and governmental agencies do business. And I know a lot of people would ask the question, but in what capacity did Mr. Emmanuel travel to the United States, Washington, D.C., to meet with Mr. Martinez and his lawyer? Under what capacity did you go there, sir? Did you go there as CEO, citizenship by investment, or did you go as an individual? And, well, I don't even know why I should ask that question, by the way, because you can't go there as an individual because you were fingered in a alleged scandal with a case in the federal courts of New York, of the United States. What is going on, St. Lucian? What kind of foolishness? And this is the statement that is put out. Let's continue reading, and then I'm hoping somebody can call me and at least give me some guidance on this matter, because to me it does not make sense. If I am working for the government, if I am working for CIP, and I am named in a major lawsuit in the United States, dealing with some very serious charges that the FBI and other agencies and the State Department can get involved with very easily, I would be very careful traveling to Washington. I would lawyer up. I would either send my lawyer, go with my lawyer, have legal representation. Who allow you, Mr. Emmanuel, to leave St. Lucia without a lawyer? So I'm going to go through this letter. So listen, I continue. I wish to draw to the attention of St. Lucian, of the St. Lucian public, the reason and nature of my meeting with the Martinez and the position of the CIP unit of St. Lucia. So it means, Mr. Emmanuel, you went there as CEO of the Saint Lucia Citizenship by investment. You just cleared it up. So you went there as the CEO of the CIP program. All right? You went there. Yes, you went. So, in other words, you went on official business. My question is, the Prime Minister did not know. The Attorney General did not know. The top cop did not know you were traveling on a legal matter. All these lawyers sitting in cabinet, none of them could have advised Mr. Emmanuel, sir, it is not wise to go to Washington alone or with your wife. The St. Lucia Citizenship by investment will have a lawyer to accompany you. Don't tell me the lawyer cannot practice. The lawyer is traveling to the United States to sit and to listen. Because I would not expect Mr. Philippe Martinez to go to Washington without legal aid, whether it's the Attorney General or someone. I would not expect him to go up there just with his jacket and a carry-on and a security guard. I would not expect that, of course. None of us would. No wonder we're in trouble. We're in problems, St. Lucians. We are in problems. So let's go back. So he says that the nature of his meeting with Manita's position and with Martinez and the position of the CIP. So he went up there to explain the position of the CIP unit. Now, I want to know what position you're talking about, because the position right now is that you are as the head in court. All right? Good. I have been extremely concerned and perplexed by the inclusion of my name as a co-defendant in the lawsuit brought by Philippe Martinez under the RICO legislation in the United States of America. 2. On the invitation of Mr. Martinez, through his legal representative, I agreed to meet with him and his lawyers and gain an understanding and reasoning of my inclusion in the civil suit being filed, and to avert any possibility of reputational damage to the Saint Lucia CIP unit. At a meeting with Mr. Martinez, no evidence was presented to me to substantiate the allegations of any scam in the Saint Lucia CIP program. 3. Moreover, I made it very clear to Mr. Martinez that I was not aware of Honorable Hilaire or any St. Lucian officially being involved in any scam or legal activity as related to the operation of CIP program. 4. I further explained that the issuance of real estate shares went through all proper legal process, and the related funds were properly accounted for in the escrow account set up for that purpose. So, Mr. Emmanuel, hold a minute. So, 1, you travel all the way to Washington to tell the legal team that you guys can account for the money and you follow all proper procedures in the sales of shares, CIP shares, and that you're not aware of anyone being involved in any corrupt practice in St. Lucia. Mr. Emmanuel, you're not working for yourself. Where's the money? What escrow account? At least you could have explained to us. You're trying to help us. You're trying to help us understand the situation. So my question would be, where's the money? And if this is true, that you sold 14,000 units, and we're looking at maybe about $1.3, $1.4 billion. Now, you guys just got into government, you know. Under Alan Shastney, between 2016 and 2021, they sold about 871. 871. With a value of $87.1 million. That's between 2016 and 21. You guys just got into office. You guys sold 1.4 billion, basically, it's alleged, that's what we're hearing. And shares of 14,000. Sorry, 14,000 units. Now, again, Mr. Emmanuel, this letter means nothing to us, the St. Lucian people. Thank you, but no thank you for the letter. It clarified nothing. A matter of fact, there is more confusion in our minds. There is more confusion in our minds as to your trip to the United States. So you said no evidence was shown to you. So it looks to me like you were doing all the talking, because we see nothing here about Mr. Martinez, what, he said to you, what was your conversation with him. All you said, you did not say anything about Hilaire to him. That's what you said, really, and you didn't see any evidence. So you just sat, drink some coffee, you and your wife, had a laugh, had fun, telling me, I don't know anything about anything. That thing is going fine, nothing to see. Yes, I can guarantee you, Mr. Martinez and your legal team, there's nothing, absolutely nothing to see here. They won the 1.4 billion that you're speaking about. It's well accounted for. It was deposited in an account, in an escrow account that was set up for that purpose. But that's what Mr. Martinez is complaining about. The account that was set up for that purpose. That's what he's talking about, Mr. CIP people. So that almost whatever bullet point 4 of whatever it is there, I mean, that's what he's telling you. You go up there to tell him that an escrow account was set up for this. Where's the escrow account? Who have access to it? Where's the money? That's the question, sir. So let's go quickly here. 5, in my meeting with Mr. Martinez, at no time did I expressly or otherwise suggest that Honorable Hilaire or any St. Lucian official may be a source of concern in his alleged scam taking place in St. Lucia CBI program. I wish to reinstate that the unit has always followed the law and policies set for the program. I am committed to ensure that the unit is run in accordance with the laws of St. Lucia and the best international practices. As a result, I shall fervently defend myself and the integrity of the CIP unit against this claim. So what are you saying, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. CIP, is that you're going to get a lawyer now after the fact? If I was Miss Dr. Hilaire, I would have some concern about you, sir. Because based on what Mr. Martinez said to us at the DBS interview, he said that the lawyers and himself are going to file some new documents to add more people based on the meeting that he had with you. So we have, let's say Mr. Martinez and his team, they're crooks and they're misleading us. These guys are going to the federal court. Do you know what lying to the federal court means? Deceiving a federal court? Federal time in a federal jail. Do you understand how what you're saying to us, that we should listen to you with only your wife, no lawyer, no legal representation? We should listen to you because you did not mention Mr. Hilaire's name. Mr. Martinez drank too much. This guy is such a crook, oh my God, that he's going to go to the federal court with his lawyers who can lose their license too and lie to the federal court. I don't know, you St. Lucians, how you reason. If you read, I don't know how broad your horizon is, your understanding. I don't know about your IQ level. I really don't. But I'm going to ask you to start drinking some soursop leaf and some CMOS get a lot of sleep, drink a lot of water, and brace yourself for a burst of information. You hear what I'm saying to you folks? So, Mr. Martinez, MSR and the lawyers are making adjustments to the filings to include a government minister in Saint Lucia. And Mr. Emmanuel is saying to us, it's not me, I didn't tell him nothing. But Mr. Martinez and his lawyers are heading to the federal court, where the possibility is that they can get federal time for misleading the court. Now, Mr. Emmanuel, let me ask you a question. I wasn't at the meeting, I don't know. Was there any recording at the office? Now, and that's what I'm saying. That Mr. Emmanuel, I believe that you made a number of errors. One, you went without a lawyer, legal representation. I am not sure if you signed any document before the meeting, before you said anything, where you are saying to them that you're not giving them reason to tape you, record you, document what you're saying. I'm not sure if you did that before you started talking. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Mr. Martinez on that. I try to stay out of a lot of things. You hear what I'm saying? So I'm asking questions. I'm just curious. Because you would understand, Mr. Emmanuel, that St. Lucians are very skeptical of what comes out of the St. Lucia government's mouth. Very skeptical. Very skeptical, because either lack of information, false information, confused information, a piece of something left for you to speculate on. So we're going to take this document and speculate on it, because your prime minister said that he's going to drop something, that there is an account in Panama, and so he just leaves it for speculation. So we will take this as though you are allowing us to speculate. Let's take this call. We're not ready for calls, but we're going to take this call, all right? Let's take this call. Caller. Oh, boy. Something is going on with our device here. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media Platform.
And so he just leaves it for speculation. So we will take this.
Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media. Caribbean American News Media.
Hi, good evening, Pastor Gardner.
Yes, sir. You're on the air. Caribbean American News.
I'm watching the program, and I realized that you said that that letter that you just read, you did not show us the letter on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to trust you when you said that it was on an official, it has an official letterhead.
Yes, official letterhead from the CIP unit.
Okay. And when was that dated?
It is dated, let me just get it for you, sir. It is dated June 10th, 2024, and that is today.
That is today. And at the end of that letter, who signed that letter?
Let me just get that information for you. At the end of this letter, it states here, it is stamped and signed Mc Claude Emmanuel, Chief Executive Officer.
Okay, so it is signed by him. I thought it was just a release from somebody at the department.
No, it's
okay. I just wanted that clarified.
Yes, it's an official letter signed by the gentleman. And also, my brother, it is on the official Government of St. Lucia's platform.
Oh, okay. All right, and thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so that was a good call, the caller, and I should have put it up. It's on one side of the screen. I should have actually put it up, but I'm sure most of you would have access to Government of St. Lucia's platform. You can go over there when you have time and read the document, official document dated today, coming out of the CIP investment program. All right. And we also heard that Mr. Hilaire, Dr. Hilaire, is going to speak to us. He is the minister in charge. He's going to address the nation on Wednesday. And I'm hoping that he can also have Mr. Emmanuel with him, and a legal, a lawyer, something there with them as they address us, the citizens of the country. Amen. Yes. So that's what the story is with the CIP, friends. That's what the story is. And watch the space. Bernard Haynes would want you to believe that there's no lawsuit and nothing to see here. It's gone. It's dead. It's finished. That's not the case, St. Lucians. Mr. Martinez and the MSR team, they are committed. They have invested over $2 million. $2 million US in this case. Investigators were hired. Some of you don't even understand who you were talking to, what you were talking to, what you were doing. Maybe you thought it was an investor you were talking to at some point. I don't know. But all I can tell you, this is not a game. This is a more than $2 million legal investment from the MSR company. It's not a joke. And I would want, when Mr. Martinez come on the air, that he clarify some things here for us, because we're not just going to be just taking information and just run with it like that. We would want to know whether Mr. Emmanuel came to the United States with his lawyer. One, is it true that Mr. Emmanuel never mentioned anything about Miss Dr. Hilaire? And two, in that report, in that interview, Mr. Martinez said he told us that Mr. Pear is a good guy. He's a good guy, Mr. Pear. What is going on here, folks? Watch this space, friends. We're going to stick on it. We're going to bring to you the truth. Mr. Emmanuel out of Mr. Martinez, MSR, will be on the platform. Ain't no joke about it. And we'll get clarity. I am not going to push him into any deep legal stuff that will cause a problem for the case. And when I followed the interview on Thursday with Lisa, I thought that he said some stuff that would have caused a little movement. Let's say somebody goes to the court and say, Mr. Martinez was on a local television station and he was saying this and saying that, and I'm sure, and sometimes the court can say, sir, you got to, and I'm sure a lawyer will say, yeah, you can speak, but just when you're speaking, allow us to be there with you, or, just to, any good lawyer would try to keep their client, in check. But St. Lucians, I'm sure the St. Lucians are happy that they found out that Mr. Emmanuel went to the United States. Guess what? None of you St. Lucians would have known that one of your government agency leaders or boss went up to the United States to meet with, based on what the Prime Minister was saying. None of you would have known. And sometimes it is okay, it is good that things happen this way, that we find out, like we always do on foreign soil, from some journalists overseas or some other agency overseas, and not from your agency of government. But look what is happening here. They are putting out a letter. They are putting out a letter to tell us now that he went up there and this is why he went. You think the Prime Minister would have said to us, well, Mr. Emmanuel is on his way to Washington to get some clarity on this matter, and we're hoping that it can be rectified as soon as possible. But Mr. Emmanuel, I can assure you, is heading to the United States to meet with Mr. Martinez. The Prime Minister did not say that. He misled the people of Saint Lucia. He told us it's just a businessman between another businessman. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, you, Mr. Prime Minister, and just for clarity to the people of St. Lucia who are listening to the program, let me ask you, Mr. Prime Minister, let me ask you, did you know that Mr. Emmanuel went to the United States to deal on official business of government? Because CIP is not no private agency. It has a minister responsible for it. Did you know? And if you knew, why did you mislead the people of St. Lucia? Why did you say to us, and I'm going to ask you again, is Mr. Emmanuel or have Mr. Emmanuel ever done business with the MSR guy? Have he? So how would you come to us and tell us it is one businessman and another businessman who have a problem? It has nothing to do with us. Why did you make such a statement? And by the way, that statement is wrong. It's misleading. It's a lie. Period. Because your CEO of CPI was already fingered. So this is not a businessman with another businessman. This is a businessman with the CEO of Galaxy, who is named because he is involved with a businessman who did business in St. Kitts. So it's now we're beyond just a businessman with a businessman. I wish the calls can hold on because, okay. Caller, you on the air, Caribbean American News Media. Caribbean American News Media, caller, you on the air.
Good evening, Brother Gassel. How are you?
Good evening, my friend. Not bad at all.
Yeah, good show, my brother.
Thank you.
Now, I will start with the line of questioning that you are doing yourself.
Thank you.
And I would ask, his name is Mr. Mc Claude, right?
Yes.
Yes. I would start by asking Mr. Mc Claude if he wants us to believe the whether it's a press release or whatever statement he put out there via the government of St. Lucia page. I want him to provide a redacted version of the transcript or an edited version of a recording as to the meeting that he went to with him and MSR Media.
Caller, hold a minute. Let me just clarify something for one of our callers over on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, sure.
The person is saying, Pastor Garfield, I trust that you said that the letter is an official government letter head, but is the letter signed by Mr. Emmanuel? Okay, I guess we answered that.
Letter up, my brother.
We did answer it earlier. And as I said, yes, it is signed by Mr. Emmanuel, CEO of the CPI program. It is stamped with the official stamp of the CIP. And it is also posted as an official document on the government of St. Lucia's Facebook page. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. You need to put up that letter when you can on the program,
yes,
so the people can see for themselves. Maybe they not believe in, but anyways, Brother Garfield, reading, because I read that letter, the gentleman put out, and I can tell you, by reading this letter, it sounded like I should say, this man is a scapegoat. And you may ask me why.
Yeah.
And I'll tell for the benefit of your listeners.
Talk to me.
I will tell you. this letter, Mr. McLeod emphasis was based on Mr. Hilary's name not being mentioned.
Okay.
If you read that letter, I think either 3 or 4 times he had to make sure that people understand that not at any point did he implicated Mr. Hillary when he went to Washington, D.C. Now, when you see people come and they want to deceive you to make you see something else than what you already know, because the reason why I'm saying what we already know is if Mr. Philippe or Mr. Martinez didn't come out and let us know what was going on and who was involved, this man, Mr. McCloud, would never come to educate us as to our business, because it's our business, our passport, our business. Okay? If this man, Mr. McCloud, wants to be credible, I encourage him to put out, and I don't want to hear any press statement or press briefing, the nonsense, the usual nonsense they do, but make documents public. Make documents public, because I need these numbers as to how many passports that were sold from the time you guys you took that position as to now. So make those numbers available to the public, as to people can go and obtain those documents and read for themselves. Okay? This is where you need to start. Don't come and tell me, Mr. Hiller, brother man, I hope I can say that on your show.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is all truth. There is nothing that is new in what I'm saying. Hiller can only be where he is today is because of the type of country we're living in.
Yeah.
Or we come from, because we're not living there, but where we come from.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
These guys are more rotten than an old tree back itself. You know? This man has been implicated in so many different avenues when it comes to money or anything like to do business in particular. We all know that the level of hypocrisy in our country is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. People, even when people have said untruths and you come to them with facts, you can prove what you're saying, they will still want to deny it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, when a man can stand and say to you, right, the key of the Range Rover belonged to him. When he knows, yeah, he may have paid for the
but the vehicle was actually his. You know, it was actually his. But then the process in which he dealt with it.
No. Don't say it's actually his. Let me make sure I say that correctly, because that's what confused people.
That's right.
Something cannot be yours if it's not on your name. You may pay for it, but if it's not on your name, technically it's not yours.
Well,
now
legally,
I'm making this
yes.
clear.
Legally, yes. I mean, especially with motor vehicles.
Yeah, but that's where we come in when it comes to the country. Because when you take a vehicle and you put it on a high commissioner name, commissioner name, the high commissioner is representing who? The people of Saint Lucia.
Yeah.
So that's the government. So that vehicle technically belongs to the government. It belongs to the... Now, again, I must say, because there have been no documents to prove otherwise that Hiller didn't pay for the car.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'll give him that.
That's right.
He did pay for the car.
It is.
You understand?
Yes. His money.
His money could have paid for the car.
Yeah.
But the legal documents, he doesn't own the legal documents. So that means he is not the owner of the vehicle.
He used the wrong process.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was not entitled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm saying
the
all of this
process
so
appears
people
to
don't
have
get
been
mistaken.
corrupted, Chief.
Yes. So
Okay.
my brother, the reason why I said all of that is to prove to people how much and how far this man will go just to save a few dollars. You know, that's the level of, you know, corruption this man can engage in, because it is corruption.
Yeah, but,
it is corruption.
Yeah.
We have to call it what it is.
Yeah, but for the platform, I can't really accuse him openly like that, you know. But I mean,
again,
go ahead.
Again, a lot of what I am saying, Brother Garfield, it is true. As to the vehicle was on the High Commissioner name, and then it magically becomes on his name without due process. So then what do you call this? Well, find me another word to say and then say it. But let's scratch out corruption and let's put a different word there. But that is the truth.
Yeah.
You see, and until we start speaking truth to power, we ain't going nowhere, brother.
Yeah.
We ain't going nowhere. Listen, I recall, and I wish you could get that clip. You know, if I had remembered, I would have gotten that
which
clip
one of them?
to you.
Yeah.
There is a clip by Michael Holden, and we all know Michael Holden. He's a commentator.
I think I was looking for that today. I was looking for it today.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and that is why I'm saying to you, Brother Garfield, a lot of the things that we're saying about Ernest Hilaire today, this is not new news, you know. This has been going on for ages. The only problem is this man has evaded the courts. He has evaded the courts only because of the type of system that we hold in the Caribbean. You know?
Right. You know what? Let me put up the letter. We have another call coming in, but you can always call back, you know, caller. The night is still young. Yeah. Okay.
That would be nice to put the letter up.
I'm going to do that right away. Thank you. Yes. Caller, you on the air. Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Yes, my brother. Good night, my brother. How are you?
Good night. Not bad at all. Welcome.
I want to start off by saying this.
Talk to me.
People without the knowledge of their past history, origins, and culture is like a tree without roots. This is a quote from Marcus Garvey. And I want to thank you again, my brother, because I called your show recently and I spoke to you on decisive action and what it is to fight for justice and what it is to fight for the voiceless, for the people for the country in a whole. And I was very passionate. I don't know if you remembered my call maybe a few talk shows ago.
Yes, I do.
Yes. And listening to Michael Alan Chasney recently on the platform, and I believe he was listening to me and to all the United Workers' Party people that are willing and ready for action and enough of the talking. Yeah. Because you see, while we are talking and pointing out the situations that is happening in our country, those guys are taking us for granted. And I spoke to you and I told you, my brother, we had many instances when we had people like Richard Frederick saying he's getting big documents from police and all the different scandals that has been taking place over the past 3 years, the gas prices, the 2.5 levy, all those different things. And we have been calling for government ministers to step down. I heard Spider as well give a great speech on Timothy Polio. And it was just another speech, but it was something dear to his heart that we are declaring war on all forms of ill treatment, once it is within the framework of the law. So whether it is protest movement, this is in the framework of the law. In any thriving democracy, protest is an essential tool to put governments in place. If you look at across back in maybe 2011, so when they had the Arab Spring, all those dictators was overthrown by the people in a quest for democracy, and it was done by protest. God forbid some of them took violent uprising with arms, but sometimes what I want to say is sometimes action is needed to bring about true peace and stability. We are at a civil war in the country. Nobody cannot hide and say we are at a civil war. All our government institutions have been molded with SLP operatives that are hell bent on enriching themselves.
That's right.
On the backs of our people. We do not even have a middle class anymore. Wow. It is all for one. That is what is happening. And this government seems to strive on the inability of different government agencies not to excel. In other words, to hold them accountable for their actions. So in other words, what I'm saying, my brother, I've been calling for it. I've been calling for a complete shutdown of the country. And the reason why I'm calling for this, my brother, is because we are at the crossroads of our history. And the reason why I started off with that quote to tell you about people who do not know of the history or where we're coming from. We are coming from a history, I'll not go way back to our history, but we are coming from a history of complete struggle. When I mean our ancestors came here in slave boats, there was 7 times British, 7 times French. Right. That was 14 different wars that the French and the British saw something in this great island. The name of the Helen of the West, my brother. The Helen of Troy, where all men was falling for this woman, and so much blood has been poured in this great land, and blood is still being poured. Yeah. I've been hearing those guys talking about the white man, but it is those same guys who are selling out every single thing to the white man. Today, we are hearing government ministers have been funneling billions of dollars, my brother, billions with a big B of dollars, US dollars to China. And you know what is so ironic about the situation in China? We have diplomatic ties with Taiwan, and there's a great problem between China and Taiwan that is happening in the Eastern world right now, where China is threatening to invade Taiwan. Right. And Taiwan has been such a good friend to this great nation by uplifting the country in terms of social programs and infrastructural programs and whatnot. You see, those guys do not understand the game they are playing, because it is today the RICO case, but it's tomorrow sanctions on our citizens. Because when you have a rogue government, what the West does and places like Taiwan and different democracy does, they sanction not the ministers, they sanction the people, make it harder for the people to get the daily bread in a way to squeeze this government into taking the right steps and right action. But it is already happening. Look at our bananas, my brother. England do not want our bananas. Yeah. We're exporting bananas to places like smaller islands than us. The farming situation is in a mess. The tourism situation is in a mess. We have lost most of our flights in the US, France, Canada, and all those different places. So my point is, my brother, today, it is the right time to make the right steps, my brother. Look at the world is in chaos today because of the same kind of men that are governing the world today. People like Philippe J. Pierre and Ernest Hilaire. Ernest Hilaire is going all across the Middle East, doing shady deals because he loves the Middle East. That's where the black dollar is. That's where the money is. It was first Saudi Arabia with Jafari. Now it's in Dubai. Now it's in all those different countries, great countries. But those guys are going to see the wrong men in those great countries, my brother. So my thing is, like I say again, my brother, to always be that I am a man of the United Workers' Party. I'm a young man of the United Workers' Party.
Oh, you're a young man?
I joined the United Workers. Yeah, I'm a very young man, my brother. I'm in my 20s. Like you can say my middle 20s. And I joined the United Workers' Party because I do not believe in giving a man a fish to eat. I believe you teach a man how to fish, and then he will have fish for a life and feed his whole entire my brother. This what Alan Shaftney said, we declare war. I forward this message 100%. It is not a game anymore. We going to sweat, and sometimes we going to fight for our rights as a democracy, as a progressive country in the Caribbean. I want to say sorry to the Taiwanese for the stab in the back they have been getting from the Ernest Hill and Company, because don't tell me you're sending billions of dollars. I do not care if it's Galaxy or whatnot. The mere fact you're dealing with Galaxy, you're dealing with the Chinese government, my brother. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows that. Any business that worth billions of dollars is linked to the Chinese government. And we have signed an agreement with the Taiwanese that we're going to recognize them to help us develop our country, because they are a small island state in the eastern world. We are a small island state in the western world. And maybe, just maybe, they might give us some of the factory shells they have in Taiwan to open the chips. You know, the chips they're making in Taiwan, which is very important for the world. I'm hoping that the Alan Shaftney government can speak to those guys and get us something really solid happening for the country. I thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the call. And by the way, I had two Chinese here in my office in the studio on Friday. And one of the questions I asked the Chinese is, how is China? Is it beautiful? He said, yes, it's beautiful, but too much people. We have to leave in order to work. We have to leave the country, the country and everything, So it is what it is, and we got to just be careful, all right? But speaking about war, something came out of a town hall meeting that the United Workers' Party had. We're not finished with CIP yet, but the calls are coming in, friends. Let's take it. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media Platform. Go ahead.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How are you doing?
Not bad at all, sir. How are you?
I'm good, my friend. Very good program, very informative, very educational. I'm listening attentively, and I hope most of your listeners and viewers are paying attention to what's happening to the reputation of our country when insofar as it was CIP scandal. Like you rightly said, Brother Garfield, that Ernest Hill said he's going to address the nation on Wednesday. But I'm telling you, information reaching me, and I can tell you, and you may say how I know that, or I'm preempting, but information reaching me that Ernest Hill will do three things on Wednesday when he's addressing the nation, the people of Saint Lucia. One, he will threaten lawsuits. He will threaten anybody with a lawsuit, or he will say he will sue any persons who have been talking about the CIP, inclusive of Dominic Fede, Alan Chastney, and a few people. He will say he's filing a lawsuit against them. Number two, and trust me, you will hear it on Wednesday. You'll say how I got that information, but I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. I got information reaching me. That's number one he will do. Number two, he will not answer the pertinent questions when it comes to that CIP scandal. He will try to blame the United Workers Party.
But hold on a minute, caller. Mr. Hill needs to understand that he's a government minister and he is accountable to the people of Saint Lucia. And for you to be threatening when we are asking the questions, people want to know what is happening. If he wants to sue anyone, sue Mr. Martinez of MSR. Sue him. I challenge them to sue him.
But that's what I'm saying. He will sue, he will file a lawsuit against Mr. Martinez. He will pursue a lawsuit against Dominic Fede, Alan Chastney, and anybody who spoke about that CIP. That is what is going to be.
But he got to sue. What I'm saying is that he got to sue all of St. Lucians, because all of St. Lucians want to know. Everybody's speaking about it. I'm speaking about it. You're speaking about it. All of our callers are speaking about it. People want to know. And that's the nastiness that I hate with our government ministers. They are quick to threaten lawsuits and blah, blah, blah. Listen to me, you work for the government. If you do not want to be questioned, then you leave government. But until then, clear the air. Clear the air. Tell the people the truth. and go along your business.
Exactly.
If you didn't do anything, just come to the St. Lucian people and talk to them. There is a lawsuit. The lawsuit will speak for itself. The legal system will justify you, will vindicate you, will expose the lies if there are any lies against you. But on your side, your part to the St. Lucian people is to come forward on Wednesday, clarify, answer questions, shut your mouth, and go back to your work. The whole idea of threatening St. Lucians, it is time for this crap to stop.
And I'm agreeing with you, Brother Garfield, but I'm just telling you the information that is reaching me is this is what's going to happen. Number two, what he will do in this address to St. Lucia and St. Lucia is deflect and blame Alan Chastney and the UWP and say, oh, they're the ones who did this, who brought in Galaxy, and they were the ones who changed the rule of CIP. That's number two. And number three, what he will say at that so-called address to the nation is that he has no involvement in this whole CIP scandal. So I'm telling you, I'm putting you on notice, and I'm putting your viewers and listeners on notice.
Well, not me. I don't want to be on notice.
Do not be surprised. What I'm telling you there is exactly what's going to happen. And you remember me Wednesday when Sila is addressing the nation.
Ian,
the three things that I mentioned.
Ian, there's nothing to remember,
exactly
you know. Them fellas have always been threatening everybody with suits. Ain't nothing new to St. Lucians. Ain't nothing surprising if they come and say, look, Emmanuel said he will defend and he will do this and do that, protect his name. He's threatening too.
I understand what you're saying, Brother Garfield, and I'm agreeing with you.
Right.
That is the modus operandi.
So what's new? Nothing is new.
Inclusive of Kenny Anthony in the earlier days of Kenny Anthony as Prime Minister. Kenny Anthony had an address to the nation, and he threatened to file a lawsuit against me, all because I asked questions about the Grindberg issue, the seabed issue. So it's nothing new, but I'm just saying, if any St. Lucian believes that Ernest Hille will come out and give any information about this CIP scandal, think again.
Let's wait and see. Yes, let's wait and see what he says. Let's not think. But appreciate you, Ian, for the call. Thank you so much, my brother.
But moving forward, let me just say one thing before I end here. I see the Labour Party operatives, the hacks, inclusive of the Zafir Zordi on the Zafir Zordi show this morning, trying to insinuate that Alan Chastney is inciting violence.
Well, we come into that later on. Yeah, when we finish
Alan Chastney said we are declaring a war on those who violate the Constitution.
We're going to deal with that later on. Yeah, we're just trying to finish up.
Okay, so but I just want to set the record straight. Yeah, on that.
No,
have a blessed, good program as usual.
Thank you. Listen to me, friends. And by the way, maybe I would have done the same. Somebody says something about me, I sue them. People have said a lot of stuff about us. You know, I mean, what people have a democratic right, but people do not have the right to besmirch anyone and to say anything that they don't know about anyone. And that's what we do all the time in the country, by the way. Look at what them fellas said about Chastney. Look at the amount of lies and propaganda that they spread on this man and his family. And all of a sudden, people want to be threatening. Let's take this call, folks. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media Platform. We took the call. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News Media. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Gaffer.
Yes, sir. You're on the air. Welcome.
Yes, we don't want to address the nation by Hille. Let the Prime Minister do that. What we would like him to do is to have a press conference.
Press conference.
So the reporters can question him.
Yes. Sounds good.
You understand? Because we don't want him to come and address the nation. This is for Philippe J. Pierre to do, not for him to do.
Yeah.
Okay, what we need is for him to answer questions from the media houses in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
He thinks he's too smart.
True.
I'd like Philippe J. Pierre to also accompany he and the CEO of the CIP to the federal courts so he can see justice served. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate it. All right, that was a new call. New calls. Folks, the lines are open. But let me say something, friends. this whole idea, and I'm getting wary of it, every time people call these people to account. If you come to us as a prime minister, right, and you say to us, there's an account in Panama. You in your office, you came across the document, and you went on national radio, and you said to us, there's an account in Panama, basically insinuating that there is something shady or corrupt that was happening at the time. You guys put a special prosecutor in place because you accuse the UWB administration every minute of the day of corruption on everything, whether it's a road project, whether it's the breaking down of an old building, whether it's the building of a building, whether it's the moving of a stone, whatever they did, you guys were calling corruption to the point where you promised the people in a manifesto that you were going to put a special prosecutor to follow the money. Corruption. Alan and his family. Alan family took all the monies in rent. Alan rent to his father and his mother and his cousin and everything. Corruption, corruption, corruption. Corruption at the airport. Corruption at the hospital. Corruption on the road. Corruption everywhere. Even in the food that is served. Everything was corruption. Did you guys forget that? Did you forget? And now, there's an alleged scandal. CIP Gate. And all you guys have to do, is come straight with the people of the country. All we have been getting is bamboozling, a little pulling there, a tugging there, a little story there, one day, a clown show as a press conference, and all kind of stories. Nobody is coming and speak to the people sensibly with proper information. And everybody's speculating because the Prime Minister, when he got the Panama account, he said that he put it out there for the people to speculate about it. Now the people are speculating, you want to threaten them? What kind of story is this? I'm sure St. Lucians are pulling their hair out their head. They're saying, what should we do? We can't. You tell us to speculate. We speculated. Now you're vexed. And it is the truth. Outside of information, people will speculate. That's why a government has in place a press secretary, communication people. That's why a government, my friends, always got to have press conferences. It is not for a clown show. It is to inform the citizens, to keep the citizens informed. So that even in matters like this, a scandal, that the St. Lucian people would have your back. They would know. They would have information. So they can say, no, I'm not my government. That's impossible. Because you would have been giving them information. So ka sewe bagay, eklese moun la ka pale, so ka fashek se moun la. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Good evening, Brother Garfield,
Good evening,
and good evening to everybody on the live. Brother Garfield, Onesile disappeared. Did not say a word to us from the time the CIP alleged corruption broke.
Mm-hmm.
Mc Claude Emmanuel was fingered by Martinez. He runs up to Washington. Nobody knows about this.
Mm-hmm.
No one. No, you already spoke about it, but I'm just reiterating.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew.
Mm-hmm.
Martinez was the one who came, and having given a little bit too much information, because Mr. Martinez said, if they had not I think they counter-sued him, right?
Not St. Lucia.
St. Kitts counter-sued him, hence the reason why he was able to get the bank details.
Yeah.
And was able to get certain accounts and the information on those bank accounts, and that it was a good thing they counter-sued him because it gave him the opportunity to get the information on these accounts.
That's right.
Accounts that we St. Lucian do not know exist. From 2021, have we heard anything when it comes to that of CIP monies collected being tabled in Parliament?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm sleeping. I don't know. But have we heard anything tabled in Parliament as for CIP, the amount of money collected for any given year from 2021 to 2023? And I say 23 because we sort of mid 2024. Solutions? Anybody heard anything? Anybody heard or saw anything being tabled in Parliament that I may have missed? So in essence, we don't know how. Sorry?
I think it happened once. I believe so.
It happened once. Where? In 2021?
I can't remember what year, but it did.
Okay, so what has happened to all the monies collected since?
Well, we're hearing that they're for 1.4 billion.
We had 14,000 units, which if we multiply by 4, because it covers mother, father, plus 2 children, maybe a grandmother if there is one. So let's just assume.
Mm-hmm.
Just assume. What if it's 4 people? It would be a lot more than the figure that you're stating, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's 53,000 passports, 40,000 passports, 30,000 passports, where is the money? How come we don't know that money exists?
And you know,
where has that money gone to?
All the government got to do, the people are asking, where is the money? All these guys have to do is to have a press conference with the Prime Minister, the CEO of the CIP, Mr. Hile, and speak to the citizens of the country, account. Because if they're asking for the money, it means that they don't know. For those who are just forming the fool for political mileage, fine. But for those who are serious like me, who just want to know, where is the money? There's an accusation that the money is in China, it's gone somewhere. Where is the money? Just come and explain all these threats and all these games that is playing, this psychological warfare. Psychological warfare that is being played is not right. It's not good. Go ahead,
it's not good, one. And I say too, this is not solutions. This is not political. This is not political. This is about your patrimony. This is about your money. This is about money that could be taking care of our health sector. Monies that could have been refurbishing our port castries. So there would be no need for them to undersell it to ports, to Global Port Holdings. This is money that could have done a lot for Saint Lucia and Saint Lucians, the population. This is money that could have been in circulation in our country, where we would not have a 2.5% compounded tax dropped on us that caused us to be paying twice and 3 times and 4 times the amount on any good and any service that we're purchasing. We need to know, we need accountability from Hile. This one, Hile, you're not going to get away with it. You're going to come and and yes, he's going to come and do all his tactics that he's done in the past. You got away with the Rovergate scandal, the Rovergate matter, because you changed the head of the customs department, and the new customs personnel that you put there in charge of customs dropped the case. That case was never heard in court. Never was that case heard. That does not make what Hile did right. This time there will be nobody dropping any cases for you, because this case is filed in the U.S. courts and not the Saint Lucia courts. It is not the Caribbean Court of Justice where everybody knows everybody, so favors can be granted.
But caller, we're here again because the government, when this thing first came out with a letter, and the guy said, well, y'all come and see what I have. First thing they did was to insult and to carry on, prolong, and they could have killed it. Engage the guy. Engage, go and see, listen. If you can come back and laugh. But go listen and everything. But you call the man a fraudster, and now is a whole set of letters and threats and all kind of nonsense that have to go on now. That could have been dealt with at the beginning.
But Garfield, why on earth would a letter be coming out of the CIP unit now? I did not see a signed letter. I went back and looked and I saw the second page with a so-called stamp on it. Is that really Mc Claude Emmanuel's
it has a
signature?
Wait, let me just get that. The letter do have a signature on it with the stamp.
I'm going to ask.
It's on the screen right now.
I am going to ask a question. Is that a stamp of Mc Claude Emmanuel with his signature affixed to that stamp?
That is a signature.
Or is that
and a stamp?
Or is that a stamp and his signature was put over? He signed and then it was stamped. The reason why I'm asking, there are a lot in this day and age on a computer. You can have your signature affixed to a stamp. Correct?
No, in this case,
that
it is not. Call a hold. In this case, it is a genuine stamp and a signature. There are two different inks here. There's a pen and there is the official stamp of the CIP. The document is on the screen right now.
Is there a date on that stamp?
Nope. There is no date on it. I have my no, hold. I have my business stamp. It don't have a date on it. I stamp documents. Here is it. I stamped documents and I signed it.
And you sign, or yes. You sign and then you stamp over the signature. I
do
understand
any one of them.
that.
Yeah.
However, a soft copy of a signature, if you don't, do you understand what I'm saying? There are soft copies. There are signatures that are already on computers that can be affixed on a letter. Did Mc Claude Emmanuel really write this?
It's an official letter from the government of Saint Lucia CIP unit.
Did Mc Claude Emmanuel write this, or was this written by a press person from the government, or was this written by another person in CIP? Is that a copy, the signature and stamp on there, is that something that already exists on a computer? There are a lot of questions that we need to ask.
Just a clarification, the viewers, I see some of them are saying things. So what are you saying is that the letter is a fake? It could be a fake?
I'm not saying the letter could be a fake. The letter could have come from the government of Saint Lucia. Don't get me wrong. But was it Mc Claude Emmanuel who wrote this letter?
Well, as citizens, we will take it as his. We will take it.
Let me ask another question, please. Why didn't Mc Claude Emmanuel, with everything that has happened, with Lisa interviewing Martinez last week, why didn't he come out and make a public statement on a public forum with his face being shown and his mouth speaking the same statement that is written today?
Well, I'm hoping he would be on Wednesday with Mr. Hilaire, because I mean, both of them.
So he can't do it on his own. He had the balls to fly to Miami. He doesn't have the gonads to come out and say exactly what is going on.
Yep.
This is a different crop of people we have in Saint Lucia, you know. This is not the crop of people we had in Saint Lucia in the year whatever. And even these proper people would not settle for this garbage. We want responses. We want answers. We want to know what is going on. We also have another question for them. Apart from we wanting to know how much money is in China, where is the escrow account, how many passports were sold, what has happened to over $1 billion in CIP monies that we need in Saint Lucia today to help with healthcare and help with farming and help with education and help with the building of our roads, etc. This is our money. It does not belong to the members of the government of Saint Lucia, as in the governing body, the SLP. It does not belong to any MP. It does not belong to any ministry. It does not belong to them. This money belongs to Saint Lucians. And it is about time we Saint Lucians know that we have that power to ask for where our monies has gone to. So we want Mr. Hille to have a press conference. Do not come like you are the prime minister making statements and walking out. That we want answers to questions that we the civilians have. And I'm hoping that people can understand that. We also have other questions concerning the sales, the 30 to 40 year leasing of our podcastries and soufre. We want to know if there is another company that has been formed or is being formed that is affixed to GPH, that has a set of shareholders that will be getting paid from GPH without the knowledge of St. Lucians. And we also want to know why, if Portview Fort was supposed to have been included in the garbage as well. And we still want Philippe J. to give us the clauses of that deal that he signed with GPH. We are demanding to know, or else St. Lucia will be a different place. And I say a different place because there's something brewing. There is something brewing. And it's not violence. There is something brewing. Let me let our government, our prime minister, our ministers, the civil servants, the people who are supposed to be working in the best interest of the population, the St. Lucian civilians, that we know that there are external organizations we can reach out to come into St. Lucia to have a real look at what is going on in our country's business. So if you're not going to make our country's business transparent to us, to we St. Lucians, we will have no choice but to use the other avenue that we know how to get the business of St. Lucia, to make it transparent to the people of St. Lucia. And I leave this here, Brother Garfield.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, that was one of our regular caller folks. But all I can say, and the truth is, there's a letter. It's on the official site of the government of St. Lucia, was issued to them, and we will take it as what it is, a letter communicating from the government CIP program to the citizens of the country. And as far as I'm concerned, if Mr. Emmanuel has nothing to do with the letter, then as a big man, he will come out and say, well, I don't know the content and blah, 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 blah. But until then, he wrote the letter. The letter came out from them, from the CIP, and, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, neither here or there. But listen, friends. Listen to me. The Saint Lucia Labour Party have declared war on the citizens of the country. As a matter of fact, Philippe Martinez, as far as I'm concerned, declared war on the press, saying to young people that the United Workers' Party basically, they're the ones paying them, and so they're working for the UWP. And that was not the case. Why declare such a war on them? Why declare war on our vendors in Castries? And by the way, I have a situation here that I will show you. Look at next to the sister. A big pot, a horse and a pot in Castries. Castries has become pot city now. So if you thought you would trip and fall from the vendors, no, you're going to trip and fall in a pot. I don't know why the UWSLP love pots. They're beating pans, they're beating pots, everything else. I don't know what to say. But the truth is, friends, for me, I believe that war has been declared on some of the vendors in Castries. Why? Why would a minister take official documents and expose the vendor because the vendor is a UWP, or the vendor speaking out publicly about him? So he get mad, so he goes get information and vaporize the vendor. That is declaring war on the people. Now, in Mr. Chasney's case, let's see whether he is the one declaring war on the citizens of the country. Follow this clip, my people.
Saying this to all the people listening, the persons in the diaspora who live in countries in which they understand what democracy is, that tonight we must declare war. We must declare war on anybody who wants to take us for a pappy show. We want to declare war on anybody who wants to be in breach of our Constitution. Anybody who tries to take advantage. And I'm putting the civil servants on notice. They are obligated to protect the people, not the ministers. It's not a threat. I'm speaking to all of you tonight in your good conscience who go to work every day and see what's taking place in this country. You are protected. I'm speaking to the DPP. Sir, the Constitution protects you. The people are saying this to all the people listening. The persons in the diaspora who live in countries in which they understand what democracy is. That tonight we must declare war. We must declare war on anybody who wants to take us for a pappy show. We want to declare war on anybody who wants to be in breach of our Constitution. Anybody who tries to take advantage. And I'm putting the civil servants on notice. They are obligated to protect the people, not the ministers. It's not a threat. I'm speaking to all of you tonight in your good conscience who go to work every day and see what's taking place in this country. You are protected. I'm speaking to the DPP. Sir, the Constitution protects you. The people are saying this to all the people listening. The persons in the diaspora who live in countries in which they understand what democracy is. That tonight we must declare war.
Now, let me say something, folks. As you clearly saw for yourself, that the opposition leader has not spoken anything about violence. Now, let me say something to the government of St. Lucia. You guys have a lot of time on your hand to write garbage. A whole set of garbage. I read on the government's and the Prime Minister's official page that we don't declare war, and basically the UWP, Alan Chastney, declared war on the citizens of the country. Shut your stupid mouth. You are more intelligent than that. And by the way, why is this garbage being written on our official government sites? Why? Who has declared war on the citizens of the country? Who is in government? Who have declared war on the people? Up to now, they can't get the gas price to go down. Who have declared war on them? Up to now, they can't have proper health care. Who have any government who is in power and we don't have those things? They have declared war on the citizens. I don't care if it's UWP or SLP, but I can tell you the UWP is not in power now. So why do we have garbage being written? You take your time, press secretaries, and you actually took your time. You're being paid to work and to inform the citizens, to write garbage, nonsense. Any good citizen with a brain, any citizen with the capacity to reason and think and listen to this, you think they would leave? Anyway, let's take this call. Caller, you on the air. Caribbean American News Media. Nah. Caribbean American News Media. Caller, you on the air.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You're on the air.
Yeah, can I shoot?
Yeah, man. Fire.
All right. Basically, I am looking forward to Ile being called to be arrested in the United States within the next 8 months to 3 years.
Why?
Now, this is an empty letter. And this letter is just to soothe the way what Ile might want to say the day he comes out to address the nation. So what has to happen is that Ile has to be fired. And we may even have to ask for the resignation of Philippe, because everybody is saying $1 billion. If the passports were sold at half price, actually it's $2 billion we have out there.
Yeah.
Now, how could you go to court? How could somebody take you to court and you go in to speak to that person's lawyer? Do you think that person's lawyer will speak in your favor? That means they told you, come in, lock your backside, lock you inside of there, and pull more information out of you. Just like they pull out the information when they got the subpoena.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that it is about time that we realize how serious this thing is. And this thing is supposed to have Alan Chastney be the one to call the elections and not Philippe Guerre. Because this caused an entire election in St. Kitts. And if you're gonna have to defend yourself in America, both Hillary and that guy, not on my taxpayers' dollars, who's gonna be the lawyer? Who's gonna pay the lawyer's fees for these guys in that civil matter? I don't know a Saint Lucian lawyer who can go and represent somebody in the States who has the legal leeway to do that. That means you must hire a firm.
No. In government, he can, like, for instance, in Mr. Emmanuel's case, he can have his lawyer to go, or the government official legal people to accompany him to such, especially that meeting. Wait. Yeah.
You have a legal crew coming from Saint Lucia that can match these guys up there.
No, it's not match. It's not for match. But it's not to match. What you're doing, you're going there to document. You're not going there to argue anything.
I'm speaking about trial. You know.
Oh, trial. No.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm going with you.
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to pay for the $700 per hour trial and research and everything to defend St. Lucia?
The government has the legal funds for that.
Legal funds? That's my tax dollars you tell me legal funds?
Yeah, man.
What I'm trying to tell you is that these fellas should find their money and represent themselves up there. If they should become victorious, we'll refund them. But not a cent from our tax dollars should go up there and pay any legal fees for them fellas for what they created. You're going to steal my money and I'm going to pay a lawyer for you again.
Alleged.
Alleged? I don't have alleged in it again, because the information that came from when the Rosie Douglas fellows countersued, because there was to be discovery, the amount of information that came out that gave them more strength. Now this guy, this Emmanuel guy,
but it has
he's
not
spinning
gone
like
through
a top.
it has not gone through trial as yet. So that's why we cannot jump to conclusions on it.
Well, then expect a settlement. Who's going to settle? Expect a settlement. You just said earlier on the bill to put these kind of lawyers up there is $2 million US.
No.
That means
I didn't say that. I said that both investigations and legal fees from MSR are it's around $2 million investigations and legal proceeding, and it's not even finished yet.
So the defendant's investigation and preparation and defending comes to more than $2 million US.
They don't. Well,
because normally when you are the defendant, your bill is higher.
No,
because your lawyer representative has to go through climb a hill to try and represent, particularly in a case like this.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm also saying is that before I close, this Emmanuel guy is a top spinning. He has to spin to please his wife. He has to spin to please Hile. He has to spin to cover his butt.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy is in one kind of a mix-up. By the way, where is that Lon Theophilus? Is he in hiding? Now, another thing again that nobody is saying. Banks move from banks to banks. Fitz is a bank as well. So this guy ran pretty quick before the Fitz place is involved. Just for thought. Okay.
Thank you, caller. All right. So as I said, folks, the case is still going through the courts, and it's alleged. It's alleged. Everything is alleged until the court make a decision on the matter. But everything is just what it is, and St. Lucians have a right to ask the questions. What is going on? Where's our money? But let's go back to this whole drama about the war. First of all, Mr. Shastry and the United Workers' Party have not declared war on any St. Lucian. I'll tell you, the United Workers' Party has a history of being peaceful. The other party, on the contrary, have a very, 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 very warish past. And all St. Lucians know that. So to come now and to say, well, hold a minute, call. Let's take this call. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News.
Brother Garfield, just allow me just 2 seconds.
Go ahead.
This caller who just called made perfectly great sense. And it's something that we have failed to ask about. Has Lon Theophilus resigned from the CIP? And if he did, why did he resign? We need him to come out and make a public statement and also join a press conference so we can question him, because he would he have resigned just so, Brother Garfield? Where there is smoke, let me repeat this. Where there is smoke, there is fire. Thank you, Brother Garfield.
All right. So folks are asking whether Lon resigned, and I think that was confirmed that he did resign from the CIP program. I think I read something to that effect that he did resign. All right. So as I was saying, friends, we were aware that Plywood City, Banana War, and all them kind of things, walking, striking during COVID-19, we know who have declared war on the people. We know the track record, it is there. So to come and declare that the United Workers' Party declared war on the citizens and public servants, and press secretaries take the time to write those things and put it out that we don't declare war on our people, blah, 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 blah. Give me a break. That's laughable. That's a joke. Because all the information that you guys supposed to be furnishing us as a government, we're not getting it. But as soon as there's a row, there's something that look like a drama, you jump on it, the government page. Leave that for the SLP page to do. Don't mix up things. There's the SLP party, and there's the government of Saint Lucia. Who's running Saint Lucia? The SLP party or the government of Saint Lucia? Who? So when I look at the SLP page and I look at this Saint Lucia government page, I'm reading the very same thing about war. Y'all have armies in St. Lucia. Who declaring war? Who? I have declared war on poverty. I have declared war on corruption. I have declared war on a lot of nastiness in the country, rape of our women. I have declared war on food security. I have declared war myself, and I still declare war on all those things. Figure of speech. Mr. Pear declared war on us when he said, they lose, go up in their face, tell them they lose, you all too docile. They declare war on those who didn't vote for them because when you tell your people you all are too docile, go up in their face and tell them they lose, you lose. When I see them, I tell them, you lose. And Mr. Anthony says, well, there shall be no peace. The absence of peace is what? Carnival? The absence of peace is war. So when you come and tell us that UWC say that they're declaring war, that's laughable, one, and that should be flushed. Two, and we have breaking news. The breaking news is that, friends, the St. Lucia Labour Party has a new unit in place. Yes, there's a new unit in the St. Lucia Labour Party. It is called the Spy Unit. They go out at UWP's town hall meeting and spy in the louvals, take secret pictures, hiding in the bush, hiding something. Why don't you all take your camera and go at the CIP office and go up with Martinez MSR? Go up there in Washington and take pictures with the camera. Do you have pictures? Why is at a school, an open school, when the UWP gather, nothing new? Nothing new at all. What, you all don't have children? You all have nothing to do? You all don't have homework? You don't have cake to bake? You don't have clothes to wash? You don't have husbands to go and wash his foot, rub his head? You have nothing to do at that time but to go by a window and peep through the window. And then when you hear the start saying everybody peeping, then you get mad. What are you doing in a window peeping? Is that your habit? Sauka fella. What is you doing there? Who sent you? Who is your boss? What are you doing there? And then I saw a whole set of people in red outside of a meeting looking for trouble. Why can't the SLP say to their people, they have their right as St. Lucians to have meetings anywhere in St. Lucia? Why would you as a government, as a Labour Party, send your people out to look for trouble? And God forbid bid that there was a clash and somebody got killed or damaged. Do you understand? Do you understand, Saint Lucia Labour Party, what could have taken place at that meeting? Do you understand it? Instead of talking about war, let's talk about this. Why would you send your guys in red to provoke a peaceful meeting that has nothing to do with you? Why would you come out there to do what you would? Why would you send people out there? At least the government of St. Lucia should have put out a notice and condemn that and say, look, we call on all supporters to stay away and to not don't harass the United Workers' Party because they don't come to your meetings and do that. And it seems like it's a habit from the SLP, because I remember Trisha trying to invade UWP functions and they tried to create chaos. Remember, Ila, the guy in the window peeping, everybody peeping. What are you doing there? What are you doing? And the people like they're possessed, just walking around. I mean, you walking around. What are you looking for? Hope? Who are you looking for? What are you looking for? Who sent you? Who is your boss? You know, normally in Christianity, when we're casting out demons, sometimes you ask the demon, who sent you? Who is your boss? Who is the strong man? Where you from? Bunch of demons roaming the place just looking for trouble. Once you are looking for trouble, you're a demon. If nobody trouble you and you looking for trouble, then you're a demon. Who sent you? Who is your boss? Who is the strong man? So I say that if the people allow themselves to be used, no political party can tell me to go and say, to go and do, and to go and disrupt anything. Not me. I'm not in a cult. Nobody going to tell me to go and... I mean, the people have a peaceful meeting. I went to Brooklyn at a town hall meeting, a government town hall meeting. It wasn't an SLP program. I walk in there, people watching me with all kind of eyes. This ridiculous one watching me, what you doing in here, and Mundi watching me and all kind of nonsense, as if I should not be in the room. What you doing here? Go out. Even Bernard, as crazy as he is, tell one, leave me alone. I didn't go there I walk in nicely and sit down peaceful, no trouble at all. I just went and I sat. I sat at a place closer to the front where I can get a straight shot of what was happening. I had my camera lady with me, and I had the mic, and I just stood there. No trouble at all. All of them looking for trouble because I invade their SLP function. Imagine a town hall meeting is an SLP function. A town hall meeting by the government of St. Lucia. And the UWP cannot go there because they will harass them. But it's time for us to stop this garbage. So St. Lucian, listen to me. Chasney and the United Workers' Party have nothing to apologize for. They did nothing wrong. They said nothing wrong. A matter of fact, you public servants, some of you need to be on notice, you know. Some of you need to go in retirement. Because you see the nastiness. You encourage it. You don't say anything. Because no government can just go and do foolishness in government, you know. You will have to have the participation of some public servants. Some public servants are such hacks that they will see the place burning down, they ain't saying nothing. So there need to be reform in government. There need to be reform. Because we have tried everything all these years and it's not really working for the St. Lucian people. Same public servants, same institutions of government, same this and same that. Same Stevenson King, same Philippe Martinez. And guess what? Look at Marsha. Look at Vieux Fort. Same results. But you are expecting to put the same people and just go down the same road and expect a different result. Let me tell you something. When you go down a road and a mongrel run behind you, there's a certain house, every time you pass on that same street, a mongrel always come out at you every day for 5 years. The same mongrel coming out to run at you, to bite you. And you keep walking down that same road all the time. This time, the only change you do is to put on running shoes. You put on what you call it, Skechers or New Balance, comfortable running shoes. You're not looking for other solutions to say, okay, I'm going to take another road, or I'm waiting for the bus. Me ain't walking down there for that mongrel to run behind me. I ain't running no more. St. Lucians, you're doing the very same thing. You're going down the same path knowing that there are mongrels down there to bite you. And when you don't get proper health care, when you don't get proper roads, when you don't get a constant flow of running clean water, when your children can't get a nutritious meal in the school because government's got to cut. But there is an alleged $1.4 million that might be somewhere out there. It's just business as usual. But your child goes to school, they're taking out the meat from the food, just notice the empty plate because they don't have water. So don't let these people himpeck you and bamboozle yourself. Oh. No, don't let it happen, friends. 40 homicide in St. Lucia. We're closing just now. 40 murders. First 6 months of the year. And the government of St. Lucia putting out on their thing, on their site, war, declare war. UWP at their last meeting, the weekend, declare war on the people. Who's declaring war on the people? 40 dead. 40 St. Lucians dead. And the government cannot declare war on criminals. Can declare war on criminals. I don't know. But the question right now is, St. Lucians, where is the money? If there are monies out there, where is the money? Where is the money? As you saw, St. Lucians, somebody took your taxpayers' money and bought a whole set of pots. And they put some bush in the pots. Some of the pots have bush, some don't have, because some of them don't have soil. And they put it all around the area there. Pot, different size, different colors. And the poor vendor sits next to the pot. I wonder who bought those pots or where they come from. Who? Somebody must have gotten a little change for those pots. And who is going to maintain it? So this is another bureaucracy of government now. Who is going to pay for the maintenance of the... And guess what? I guarantee you, in the next month, look at those pots, what's going to happen to them. Juicy bottles, Shirley biscuit papers, cigarette butt, condoms, all kind of stuff in those pots. Watch this space. I know the people, you know. They're going to start throwing it use it as a garbage can. But all I'm saying is that this is just not putting flower pots down. Who's going to maintain it? And by the way, who's going to wet? You all say there's no water in St. Lucia. Who's going to wet those plants? Who's going to wet them? City Council. Huh? Now I understand that you got to clean up the tongue, friends. I understand that. But there's a way to do stuff. Not because you vex with the vendor. You just tell the vendor, move. Huh? you declare war on the vendors? Folks, we're supposed to be starting tomorrow night. Sorry about that. That's me again. Let me just fix it. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm back. So we will make the announcements. I'm just waiting for the station for more information, and then I will give it to you. But we will be officially on a local television station in St. Lucia every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Every Tuesday from 8 p.m. we will be live in the comfort of your homes on your television channel, one of the cable channels down there. All right? So we look forward to the announcement. Somebody says, Garfield, just wait for the carnival to come. You'll see the state of those flower pots. Waste of money, ain't it? Somebody says somebody will pay in it. But folks, it was nice being here with you. Peter says, oh yes, our new defender of St. Lucia. Thank you, my brother. Yes, so watch this space, friends. We might be breaking some news sometime this week about the MSR and some other developments. We are following very closely. I don't like to jump the gun. I like to just, because what you don't want is to besmirch people's character, say things that you got to come back and say you're sorry, it's not the truth. You want to stay away from those things, innit? And therefore, we take our time. We don't just jump on the bandwagon. When the MSR lawsuit came out or letter, I stayed very low-key on it, and then when I realized that, I start digging, speaking to some of my friends in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the United States and other parts of the world. When I start communicating with them, I'm like, is this real? What is happening here? And then they say, yeah, you better believe it. It's real. And it's in the federal court, and heads are going to roll for the fact it's going to get very rocky for a lot of people. So just watch the space, and so I continue watching, and bam, it is still unfolding. We have government reactions now. The government said that they're not going to react. The Prime Minister, he will not react to everything. Every time somebody thinks you have to react, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to do that, and it's a scheme, and blah, 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 blah. And then the Prime Minister comes out, we changing this, we signing it, we signing now, everything is okay now. And then a letter comes out. I went to Washington, but I didn't say that, But in the letter, if you read it carefully, St. Lucians, before we go, if you read that letter carefully from Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Emmanuel is right to a certain extent in the letter, because he's saying he's not aware of any scam or corruption by anyone. He's saying he's not aware of it. And, you give him that. But this letter does not say that there is none, really. He's saying that he's not aware of it, that Mr. Hilaire was involved in anything, he's blah, blah, blah. But MSR will clarify that with their lawyers in the court of law. So I say to you, St. Lucians, people can deny and people can say it's not true, it's a lie, but when it gets to the court, then it will settle there. Everything will fall into place. So just watch the space, friends, and let us just be very careful. Be careful that we do not unjustly besmirch people's character because we just want a temporary high. What does it profit to have a temporary high and you mess up the reputation of your country? What does it profit just to feel good? Or let's say to get into power tomorrow, and you have a broken state to manage, a broken CIP program to fix, broken relationships with international partners to fix. Does it worth it? No. So that's why I say to you, friends, let us be very cautious, tread softly, wait for information, and always remember everything is alleged until it is proven in the court of law or by the police Most corruptions, I can tell you, go unpunished, unnoticed in government systems. And I always tell you, corruption, there are small corruptions and big corruptions, medium corruptions, all kind of corruptions. I'll show you what is a corruption. A corruption is me going down to the passport office, and because my cousin is inside, my cousin just moved me ahead of everybody. That's corruption. It is me going to the Marcy supermarket, and my cousin is the cashier, and she see me and she pulled me above everybody. The old lady standing there, the cripple standing there, but she pulls me ahead. I call that corruption. Corruption is me pulling strings to get you ahead of everybody else, or so that you can get some type of benefits. Maybe you don't even deserve the benefit. That's also corruption. So there's so much corruption in everything, friends. It goes unpunished, unnoticed. Most of the times, the victims are scared. They're scared of the law. They're scared that you're going to sue them. They're scared you're threatening them. They're scared that their auntie, their daughter will lose the job, or their son will lose the job. So these people just stay quiet. And you know what they do? Silently, they go to the polls. And that's where they take out their frustration. I know St. Lucians. I am scared. If I was the SLP administration, I would be scared. Anytime you see St. Lucians are so quiet, watch it. You see the large block of voters, the independent voters, the SLP hacks will keep noise, the UWP hacks will keep noise, but you see that center group, once you see they are quiet and they're silently observing, you got to be careful. Observe every elections. Be careful. I will declare tonight that the SLP is in a very bad place at this time, and it would be very wise of them to be careful how they pin their letters. 2, be careful what they post on their social media, especially of the government. Be careful. There are some professionals out there, a large block of professional St. Lucians who can influence the votes. Be careful how you deal with the poor, the vendor. They watch those things. They will not keep noise. But when they get to the ballot, they will dip their fingers so deep in the ink that you will think that there's a glove they have on them, and they will vote you out. So if you don't want to take my counsel, you keep going. Go after the citizens. Go after the media. Go after people and threaten them to take them to court and to sue them because they ask questions. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let me ask you, how is the special prosecutor going? Everything is going fine there? Anyway, St. Lucians, what's your bread? Why is me? Mem.
Mon passe après manger petit ça. Mon passe après manger petit ça.
I can't take it myself. And that's the truth, you know. I can't take the magi basis. But St. Lucians, I want you to go to bed early so that, you know, you can rejuvenate. There's a lot of stuff going to come out in time to come, and you will need all your brain cells. You will need all your brain cells to deal with what is to come. All right? Let me try to get something for you before you leave. I don't know what's going on with my thing, but I disrupted the whole system, and I'm looking for certain things on it, and it is just not popping up. But what can I say?
Is a land do this, and a land do that. Is a land do this. Come and feel is smart. All the ministers and the PMs, be more popular than them. Is them causing the problem, cause they have a name like an anthem. Is a land do this, and a land do that. Stop playing the game, stop calling our names. Is Alan do this? Alan do that. Denzil do this. Denzil do that. Alan do this. Alan do that. Hey, tous les jours on ça. If the man go on a holiday up in Toronto, boy. Next day is big news on TV and radio. To remain in the limelight, that is what he's looking for. To make him more popular, is a Pakatan, last pali about Alan. Is Alan do this, and Alan do that. Is Alan do this?
I must apologize to LLB. The big story.
That is his strategy to keep people talking about the elderly people. Heavy roller. But he Johnny Walker is Alan do this.
Story.
And Alan do that.
I must apologize to LLB. The big story.
Mon passe après Maj Bétis. Mon passe après Maj Bétis.
The big story. Philippe attack elderly people and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people and usher him out and tell, a big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people. And take his microphone. A big story. The sky I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people. No. And take his microphone. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people. The sky is falling. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people. Sky is falling. And tell. Big story.
Mon passe après Maj Bétis.
I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J.
Mon passe après Maj Bétis.
And tell. I heard this. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack elderly people. I heard this. And tell. This shot fella. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly people. The big story. Philippe J. attack. I heard this. Elderly people. And tell. A big story. A big story. I must apologize to elderly.
Every single decision we have taken has been to fertilize prosperity for today and to sow the seeds of progress for our nation 10 years from now. Every budget we delivered, every investment we attracted, every infrastructural project we approved, and those we re-engineered are meant for our children, our future, our Saint Lucia. The United Workers' Party. Let's keep working. Over the past 5 years, every single
We must declare war on anybody who wants to take us for a pappy show. We want to declare war on anybody who wants to be in breach of our Constitution. Anybody who tries to take advantage. And I'm putting the civil servants on notice. They are obligated to protect the people, not the ministers. It's not a threat. I'm speaking to all of you tonight in your good conscience who go to work every day and see what's taking place in this country. You are protected. I'm speaking to the DPP. Sir, the Constitution protects you. The people, I'm saying this to all the people listening. The persons in the diaspora who live in countries in which they understand what democracy is. That tonight, we must declare war. We must declare war on anybody who wants to take us for a pappy show. We want to declare war.
The opposition, Mr. Speaker, believes that when there is an increase of murders in this country, the government will suffer. So when there's a criminal commits murder, the Minister of National Security must resign. The Minister of National Security took the gun, he put it in the criminal's hand, and he said, go and commit a murder. What is the relationship between gang warfare and the Minister of National Security? What is the relationship between we trying to have some social interventions to help in the situation as regards gangs and the Minister of National Security? Mr. Speaker, this government has done more. Washington to speak to him. Mr. Speaker, you know he's a fraudster. Matter of the truth being what you perceive it to be and what the truth really is, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I start on the CIP program or the CIP issue that happened a few weeks ago. Mr. Speaker, for an opposition to deliberately go out to stop a country from developing its people in terms of housing, in terms of infrastructure, all because they are not involved or they're not in government, is almost a call of treason, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I saw my name and name the Minister for the Minister for the CIP being dragged in, we being called to Washington. Mr. Speaker, do you know the person that they said wants me to come to Washington to speak to him? Mr. Speaker, you know he's a fraudster? Mr. Speaker, he's a fraudster. But we will join with fraudsters. We will join with anybody just because the United Workers' Party are not in government in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there has not been one word, no one has ever said that Saint Lucia's CIP program, in terms of the due diligence, has come into disrepute. Mr. Speaker, the due diligence in our program happens at several stations, even at the level of the bank with the know your customer and your source of fund situation, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, the opposition puts all kind of things together, things I've never heard about. Things, I mean, nefarious characters. Some guy called in, said I must come to Washington for him to show me what he has. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me tell you a story about this guy. The guy that they are talking about is a guy who was sued by the former Prime Minister of St. Kitts. He was a guy who was sued by the former Prime Minister, and you know who the former Prime Minister of St. Kitts, who his friend is. You know who his friend is. You know who came here to campaign, who came here to address dinners, but they will discard all their friends just because they want to see this country down. They want to burn the house to kill a rat, Mr. Speaker. It's a matter of the truth being what you perceive it to be and what the truth really is, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I start on the CIP.
Take his microphone. Just a minute. Just a minute. Take his microphone. Usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
No.
Take his microphone.